And our metal 6-pack this week on That Rocks is your 6 favorite side projects, meaning not the primary band from these artists, but a side project. Yeah. So who starts? Jim, you start at 6?
I'll start. I think I probably got it wrong. I don't know. I thought it was just top 6 bands that Mike's been in.
What? But why didn't our producer correct you on that?
I don't know, but Twisted Sister is my number 6, but I'm wrong.
Jim,
so.
Hold on. You're doing 6 bands that Mike's been in?
Yeah, the top 6 bands that he's been in that I like. I misread the. Look, you can't blame it on producer Joe. Blame it on me. I read that. Okay, it's the top 6 bands, and
all 3 of you did something different.
Yeah, it's no big deal. Whatever. Are we going to get in trouble? Is Mike going to be mad at us? My number 6 is Twisted Sister.
It just throws out the whole theme. Look at Don.
I say we.
What did you do, Don?
This train wreck before it even happened.
No, just go. All right, it's Twisted Sister. I'm going to ask Mike if they're going to ever do shows again. There you go. There's Don's pick.
But Don, what's the theme of your 6?
Yeah, what's your theme? That's my theme. I like my theme better. I think my theme works.
Your theme was talked about, but
I suggested the theme that Jim did, and then Eddie, you overruled it. So
I didn't overrule it. I just brought up the other thing. We said, "Yeah, let's do that."
So my number 6 is a band called Spirit Adrift. The guitar player and vocalist in Spirit Adrift, his name is Nate Garrett. His primary band is the death metal band Gatecreeper. All right, so Nate's day job is in Gatecreeper playing death metal. Spirit Adrift is not death metal. Spirit Adrift is very classic sounding heavy metal. This is just a straight up heavy metal band with very strong songwriting, cool vocals, dual guitar attack. They finally put out a full length album, and that'll, if we get to our picks, it's going to be mine for this week. So that's my number 6. If you haven't checked out Spirit Adrift, they are really, really good. They got a handful of EPs out and now a full length. Go ahead.
Don, what is the theme of your 6? Just 6 side bands?
6 side bands.
Okay, so that's what I'm doing too. So Jim's 6 are all bands Portnoy's been in. Don and I, our 6 is just 6 bands that are side projects having nothing to do with Mike, whether he is or isn't involved. What's my number 6, Joe? Put it up because I forget. Okay, well, that's a photo of Extreme. But obviously, the side band that it was is a band called Mourning Widows. And really, more generally, any side stuff that Nuno has done, I've been a fan of. He had a band called Population One. He had a band called Satellite Party with Perry Farrell. He had a solo record called Schizophonic. But if you've never heard Mourning Widows, that is kick-ass stuff. There's a couple records out there. So basically, even though that's a photo of Extreme, my band is side bands from Nuno. And Nuno and Gary were both on this show earlier, by the way.
Yep.
All right, my number 5 is top Mike Portnoy band is Flying Circus.
I think it's Flying Colors.
Yeah.
Mike's not even in the picture.
It's Flying Colors, so.
The band's called Flying Colors. Maybe the record's called Circus. I don't know that band that well.
No.
And Mike's not even in that picture.
Oof. This is
maybe it got propped out. Maybe it got cropped out.
This is death.
All right. Don, what's that?
My number 5 is 9 Pound Hammer. And
by the way, you do realize that this is people's favorite part of this entire show. When we go off the rails, you do realize. I hear that constantly. So, as ridiculous and pathetic as we are, people enjoy our patheticness.
Not one comment have I read that said that.
All right, then we just suck. Who's that?
And also, there's no such band as Mourning Wood or whatever you said.
Mourning Widows.
You made that up.
You want me to go get the CDs?
Nobody ever heard of that.
Wait here and I'll get the CDs.
I never heard of that band once.
Wait here.
6 years.
All right. By the way, 9 Pound Hammer has one of my favorite songs. We Done Run Out of Worms on their debut album.
Yes.
One of the greatest titles. We Done Run Out of Worms.
Yeah, and you see a picture there of, agreed, Jim, of Blaine Cartwright, whose primary band is Nashville Pussy, but 9 Pound Hammer is very different. It's countrified, Kentucky, booze-soaked, rock and roll with very tongue-in-cheek lyrics, and they've got a bunch of albums out. I was hoping Blaine's sending all of us the new 9 Pound Hammer. I was hoping to have it to show off to the camera, but that'll be one of my picks later on in the season. Eddie, now he's taking a CD and he's writing Morning Wood on it. Like that's a real bit. Nobody on earth ever heard of Morning Wood.
I had it this morning.
Yeah. Well, let's not show that. So that's my number 5 and we'll skip Eddie's number 5. Jim, go to your number 4 because it's probably a made up band.
My number 4. Well, you know what? If you're going to do this, I could just, I'm going to go Murder Dolls, even though this isn't the Murder Dolls. We're doing side project. It was Joey Jordanson and Wednesday 13. Their side project. It was one I picked a few weeks ago. One of my favorite 2 records, especially the debut one. They put out 2 records. Joey played guitar in the band, and it was a lot of older Wednesday 13 songs, the first record. The second one was great, but yeah, they were on Roadrunner, so that's my number 4, even though Wednesday or Joey's not in that picture.
No.
Okay.
Women and
Eddie.
Children Last is a great album, too.
Yeah.
Murder Dolls. So, Ed, we skipped your number 4.
Why?
That's your number 5.
Oh, your number 5.
That's my number 5, which is Tremonti. Mark Tremonti from Alter Bridge's side band. Very heavy. A extremely young Wolfgang Van Halen in that band at one point. Tremonti has made like 4 or 5 solo records simply under that name. Very heavy stuff. Great stuff. Tremonti, my 5 side project. Mark Tremonti of Alter Bridges and Creed's side band.
Where's the Morning Wood CD, Ed?
There's so many M's, bands that start with an M.
Doesn't
that
exist.
If you want, I'm going to be over there for like 10 minutes to go through all the M's, but I will go do it if you ask me.
Doesn't exist. My number 4.
Find the sleeve, please, for me, Joe, for Mourning Widows, spelled Mourning. Furnished Souls for Rent is the name of one of the records, you son of a bitch, Don.
Right, he could just find the graphic online.
Right.
Yeah, he won't find it. Number 4 is Dizzy Reed from Guns N' Roses and his side band Hookers and Blow. And there's the beautiful vinyl. I love because they've been doing Hookers and Blow for 20 years. I've toured with them a bunch. And
there you go. There's the album cover. You want to buy it, Don? Go ahead, buy yourself a copy. It's fantastic. It's for sale. $11.
He just typed that up. Hookers and Blow is the greatest side band.
It's AI.
It's a band that's based on the premise, and it's Dizzy, Mike Duda from Wasp, Alex Grassi from Quiet Riot, and Johnny Kelly on drums. And the entire concept is based on that they will never ever write one original song. So if you get the Hookers and Blow album, it's all cover songs. They're a cover band. And God bless Dizzy Reed. He goes out with Guns N' Roses, plays for 75,000 people a night. He's home for 2 days, and we get in a 15-passenger van and play for 75 people in small clubs. And he loves every minute of it. So that's my number 4, an actual side band that exists, Hookers and Blow.
Mike Portnoy's not in that, though.
He might be.
All right. My number 4 is the Joe Perry Project. That is a recent picture, which, again, there's an extreme theme here because that's Gary Sharon singing with Joe in that particular photo. So that's from a very recent tour. But the first 2 Joe Perry Project records, the first album, Let the Music Do the Talking, is incredible. Yes. Still among the most listened to records for me, and it's like 44 years old. Amazing raw record. Obviously, Joe Perry from Aerosmith, his side band that he fires up every once in a while. Love the project.
All right, my number 3, speaking of Dizzy Reed, even though he's not in this picture, his solo record that he put out a few years ago was amazing. That was probably better than Chinese Democracy. Like, if those songs were Chinese Democracy.
That was a great record.
It was way better than Chinese Democracy.
Yeah.
If those songs on Dizzy's record came out called Guns N' Roses with Axl singing them, it would have been huge.
They were amazing songs, and I know it took them a long time. I sang backup vocals on one of the songs.
You did?
Yeah, I went in the studio, yeah. I forget what song. It's been a while, but whatever. But I know he worked on that for like 4 or 5 years and put it out. It kind of got lost in the mix, but great stuff on there.
Yeah.
What band is that with Mike Orlando with eyeliner on?
Adrenaline Mob.
Yeah.
That's Adrenaline Mob? Oh, probably one version of it, yeah.
Yeah.
I never saw those guys rocking that look, but
yeah, I don't think that's Adrenaline Mob either. But anyway,
why should something go right?
It's Morning Wood.
It's number 3.
Widows.
Number 3 is our buddy Glenn Hughes, who's been on the show with us. Obviously, besides his solo career, he's got Black Country Communion, who is pictured there. He's also got California Breed, the Dead Daisies. So, Glenn's sort of the master of the side band, and he's my number 3.
I forgot about Black Country Communion qualifying as a side project, but that's a good one. Dead Daisies no more because he's not in it anymore.
Right, but they was.
Right. My number 3 is Last in Line, side project for Vivian Campbell. Talk about going from playing enormodomes to clubs and vans. That's exactly what Vivian does with this band. Andrew Freeman, an incredible singer. Phil Soussan on bass. Vinny Appice, who has a bunch of different bands, but really this is the side thing for Vivian because he's in Def Leppard. They make original music. They got 3-4 albums out, including a new album called Jericho. And they also play the hell out of early Dio material, the first 2 albums, because obviously Vivian and Vinny are original members of the Dio band. So there you go. Last in Line for me at number 3.
All right, my number 2, even though D is not in here, is Widowmaker. I love that. When he came back.
Jim's calling audibles on the fly.
I'm calling audibles, yeah. I just coming up with them, yeah. Widowmaker, they put out 2 records. Who was the guitar player again? Was that, I forget,
Bernie
in
Tormenta.
that band? That's right, Bernie, yeah. Who played in Ozzy for 9 days until he got tossed to the side for Brad Gillis. But those are great records, really heavy, totally different than Twisted Sister.
So what you're saying is we're disregarding what the photo is and just listening to what Jim says.
Well, yeah, I'm making them up because I didn't know,
Because that's a picture of Dream Theater without Portnoy.
It looks like Widowmaker a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
Jesus, let's get through this.
Yeah, my number 2. My number 2 is Mike Patton. Come on. The guy, obviously, Faith No More is his primary band, but Mr. Bungle, Tomahawk, Phantomas, Moonchild Trio, Cotta Patton, Dead Cross, Lovage, Mondo Cane, Peeping Tom, just to name a few of Mike Patton's side bands. That's a picture of the current version of Mr. Bungle.
I don't think any of those bands exist.
They all exist, but
never heard of half of them.
But this band exists because Scott Ian is in it.
Scott Ian has many side projects too.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
You go.
Me, number 2 is Slash featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. I love this band. Of course, for a while, this was Slash's only band. When he rejoined Guns N' Roses, it now became his side band. Miles Kennedy, Brent Fitz, Todd Kearns, Frank Sidoris. Love their original music. Love what they do live as well. I'm really glad that Slash didn't abandon this completely when he rejoined GNR, and love this band, love these guys personally, love the music they make, and they are killer live as well. That's my number 2.
All right, my number 1 is, I don't see Corey Taylor in here, but Stone Sour.
That's the Winery Dogs.
Yeah, I know. Well, that was my favorite Portnoy band. Over Dream Theater. That
Billy
was my
Sheehan
pick.
Looks a little like Corey in that
A
one.
little bit, yeah. But, the Stone Sour thing, there was some kind of drama went down. Corey doesn't want to do it anymore. So he's doing his own solo Corey motherfucker Taylor band. But those first 3 Stone Sour records are great.
Agreed. My number one is the king of all side bands, Mike Portnoy. Listen, at some point, all these bands were side bands to another band. And we'll definitely ask him what he thinks his primary band is now. I would say it's the Winery Dogs. But at some point, the Adrenaline Mob, Avenged Sevenfold, Transatlantic, Yellow Matter Custard, Flying Colors, or Flying Circus, the Winery Dogs, Liquid Tension Experiment, Metal Legion, Sons of Apollo, Neil Morse Band, all side bands. Once again, just to name a few, no one more king of side bands than Mike.
What band is that in the picture?
It doesn't matter. It's Corey Taylor.
I think that's Adrenaline Mob.
Yeah, that's Adrenaline Mob before Mike Orlando wore eyeliner. So it doesn't matter what picture you put up there. He's in 40 of them. So that's
the wrong picture. Oh, come on, we got let's get this right.
Did you want the picture?
Oh boy, if the fans are attacking Mr. Russo now, I'm sorry.
All right, let's get this over with. What am I, number one? All right, so that is a picture of the Winery Dogs. They are my number one side band. I don't even know if they still qualify as a side band because some of them would tell you it's now their primary band, but all three of those guys do a million different things. And I've got a lot of history with them, and I love them to death. Billy, Mike, and Richie, 3 albums out now. I saw a bunch of shows with them recently, and they would be my number one if they even qualify as a side band, but judging what we did today, my gosh, anything qualifies. So that's my number one.
That Winery Dogs are my number one too. We had the same number one, Eddie.
Wait, isn't that Mike Orlando on the left?
Hey, thanks for watching that clip. If you liked it, here are a few more you might like. And if you want to support the show, consider hitting the join button and becoming a channel member to unlock exclusive bonus content.